Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 213 based on novel. So let's start. Big brother. Xiao Yan was stunned by Long Yi's actions in the originally tense battle. My seniority is older than yours, so from now on, I will be the eldest brother, you will be the second brother, and Xiao Yi will be the third brother. Yeah, that's it. Long Yi didn't care whether Xiao Yang agreed or not, he just decided. Xiao Yang heard the words, his head was full of black lines, but Xiao Yang didn't feel disgusted. After all, Long Yi was more like an elder who took care of himself, even if he was his big brother, he didn't care pass. Be careful for a while, I will create a way out for you, you go first, and Xiao Yi and I will arrive later. After a while, Long Yi said in a voice that only Xiao Yang could hear. Yes. Xiao Yang nodded secretly when he heard the words, and then the core inscription of the divine movement in his body was still condensed. Because the existence of the mysterious demon in the dragon-loving army in front of him made Xiao Yang's heart tickled, Shen Mo had assassinated Xiao Yang and Mu Yingying when they entered the Shenling Emperor Pond, and almost succeeded, so now the two with such a fierce force, Xiao Yang naturally wanted to completely obliterate this guy. Array, Dragon Addiction Formation. While Long Yi and Xiao Yang were talking, unpredictable mysterious powers suddenly emerged in this sky. In the sky, headed by Yi Mo, the 9 members of the Dragon Addiction Legion lined up one after another, like a lifelike dragon. It's a good battle, but I just don't know if it's a mystery. Seeing this, Long Yi's figure exploded, and then flashed away into the sky. Long Yi knew that the Dragon Addiction Legion could stand in Shentian for so many years, and its true ultimate move, the Dragon Addiction Formation, was by no means a child's play, so Xiao Yang could not be dragged down. What? It seems that my blood is boiling. Xiao Yang, who was a little weak, found that the blood in his body was vaguely boiling, as if it resonated with something. And in a distant place, several rather tyrannical auras are also rapidly heading towards Blood River Town. These auras are somewhat like the powerhouses of the Medusa clan. Dragon Addiction Formation, Sacrifice Dragon. After a while, Yi Mo and 9 people finally completed the Dragon Addiction Formation, and then said to Long Yi from a height below zero. Long Yi looked up and saw a light dragon appearing entirely composed of energy, while Yi Mo was at the head of the dragon. As for the 8 other dragon-loving legions, they were occupying the light dragon's limbs. Humph. Let's talk to the other side, how can this be called a dragon addiction? Long Yi heard the words, he let out a loud shout, frowned, and instantly turned into a silver dragon, and the thunder beams as thick as stone pillars tightly surrounded him. Surround. Don't be too happy too soon. Guanglong, Dusky. In the next moment, Yi Mo seemed to sense the disdain at the corner of Long Yi's mouth, and called out softly. However, as Yi Mo's voice fell, the light in the entire space instantly disappeared, as if falling into a dark abyss, which is outrageous. What is this? Suddenly lost all light and fell into darkness, Long Yi said slowly like a blind man. Big brother, go. Then, for some reason, Long Yi suddenly felt that he was being knocked away by a body. Damn, it's still a step too late. Then the next moment, a khaki flame light slowly flashed out. Xiao Yang, why are you here? Long Yi couldn't help saying when he saw the state. Big brother, just now Yi Mo controlled Guanglong and devoured you directly. Xiao Yang said in a deep voice. Devouring? Impossible, why didn't I feel it? Long Yi frowned when he heard this, obviously not understanding why Xiao Yang said that. Brother, the reason why you didn't feel it is because some mysterious powers of the Dragon Addiction Formation have isolated your perception. This is inside the Dragon Addiction Formation. Xiao Yang said in a deep voice. Is there a way? Hearing this, Long Yi approached Xiao Yang slightly. 10 minutes. When Xiao Yang heard the words, he sat cross-legged directly, and then without hesitation, circles of core inscriptions continued to emerge, surrounded by dazzling spiritual power. The best way to deal with the formation was the formation. But to break the formation, the method is none other than the battle formation master Xiao Yang. They are. After seeing Long Yi and Xiao Yang being swallowed directly by Yi Mo Guanglong, White Fang's eyelids jumped and he couldn't help but say. Dragon Addiction Formation, I'm afraid that the silver dragon of Dozian is in danger. But with Xiao Yang, I hope it's alright. Zhu Jin said slightly, for Xiao Yang, he has more or less inherited his mantle, so Zhu Jin believes that Xiao Yang can break the Dragon Addiction Formation. Old Yi, Xiao Yang also went in, what should I do now? Shen Ming couldn't help asking. Let's kill that beast first. Xiao Yang has some holy flames on his body and must be captured alive. Yi Mo whispered. Okay. As Yimo's voice fell, the 9 members of the Dragon Addiction Legion would close their eyes and continuously mobilize the power in their bodies. What is this doing? When other powerhouses saw this scene, they were puzzled. Dragon Addiction Formation is an independent space. Now they use their soul power to enter that space and fight Xiao Yang and the others. Zhu Jin explained. Xiao Yang, you can't have an accident. As soon as Zhu Jin's voice fell, Mu Yingying at the back suddenly became nervous, obviously something unusual. And Long Yi in the dragon-loving formation, with the help of the Holy Flame, also discovered that this is an independent space. After a while, a dazzling energy beam attacked Long Yi. Go away. Who is it? Get out of here for this king. Long Yi's exquisite fingers directly sent the beam of bright energy into the air, and then said, in the Dragon Addiction Formation, we are the invincible existence. Accept the punishment, beast. When Long Yi was puzzled, the figures of the 9 members of the Dragon-Loving Legion appeared in all directions in this space. The aura of these figures is not right. How can there be an ethereal feeling? Soul power. Xiao Yang, who was still trying to crack the Dragon Addiction Formation, found something secretly, and immediately said in surprise. If they were outside, the strength of these guys at the level of 9-star OD would be like killing an ant against Xiao Yang, but in this dragon-loving formation, all 9 of them exist in the form of soul power. The loss will cause extremely serious damage to their body. And don't forget, Xiao Yang's current soul power is under the Fairyland, at the peak of the Emperor's realm. A wicked smile appeared from the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth. Although soul attacks cannot kill all of them, it can kill one of them. What happened? How can there be an aura that terrifies me in this dragon-loving formation? Someone said the 9 members of the Dragon-Loving Legion standing in the space of the Dragon-Loving Formation. After Yaroshin finished speaking, he couldn't help but look towards Xiao Yang, as if the source of the fear was exactly where the source of the suffocation came from. Yaroshin, you have been worrying too much. This is the inner space of the Dragon Addiction Formation. Although our body cannot enter it, with the power of the Dragon Addiction Formation and our soul power, it is enough to completely kill this beast. And looking at the medicine, Xin was so worried. Xian Ming said. In that case, let's do it. Otherwise, there will be too many UBOS fighting. If it attracts powerhouses from other continents, it will not be worth the loss. Yimo said. Let's start. And the others nodded. As soon as the voice fell, the 9 people sat cross-legged, and on the slightly illusory body, an invisible wave of terror radiated from the body, and then swept the entire space, and somewhere in the dark space, it was also slowly that a peerless beast was born. Damn! The energy here is actually swallowing my strength. Long Yi couldn't help but say, seeing Yimo and the others doing this. Since entering this space, Long Yi has felt that his power is slowly being lost. Although the speed is extremely slow, it is truly lost. And when Yimo and the 9 people gathered their strength, Long Yi suddenly found that the power loss rate in his body had been indistinctly accelerated a lot, and even in this space, it seemed that something was about to appear. It seems that this Dragon Addiction Formation really lives up to its reputation. I took it lightly. Seeing this, Long Yi shook his head slightly. Hey, big brother, it's okay, I have a solution. Just as Long Yi was preparing for the battle, Xiao Yang's voice was wrapped in his soul power and passed into Long Yi's mind. Do you have a solution? Long Yi said with a smile. This dragon-loving formation is a powerful formation that has really hunted down the dragons, but without Qin Tian's Real fighting immortal powerhouse as the eye of the formation, and Yimo's mere half-immortal strength, we still have a chance to survive. And there are many flaws in this formation. The 9 of them are powerful, but as long as they defeat any one of them, the formation will naturally fail. Xiao Yang said with a smile. Is this true? Long Yi was overjoyed when he heard the words. To be honest, Long Yi didn't want to reveal all his cards here. After all, he still wanted to return to the Dragon Clan in the future. If he had too many disputes with humans, it would increase the trouble for him to return to the Dragon Clan, but with Xiao Yang here, Long Yi also dare not to fight. Big brother, you are like this. Xiao Yang said to Long Yi with his soul power. Okay. Hearing this, Long Yi immediately smiled. Xiao Yang's plan was quite perfect. It could not only crack the Dragon Addiction Formation, but also solve their current predicament. But the premise is that Xiao Yang can succeed. Dragon body. In the next moment, after Xiao Yang finished speaking, there was a place in the soul realm in his body that was condensed quickly, and Long Yi instantly turned into a silver dragon, attracting the attention of Yimo and 9 others. Force to attract. The silver dragon, who is a mere 1-star fighting immortal, is also trying to fight against the Dragon Addiction Formation. After a while, Yimo suddenly opened his pupils, and an indescribable wave of terror instantly filled the space. And as Yimo's voice just fell, suddenly in this space, a pair of huge brown dragon eyes slowly opened, and at that time, a tyrannical aura that the world was afraid of swept over. Want to swallow me? It depends on whether you have the ability, Long Yi shouted loudly, then twisted the huge dragon tail, wrapped in the power of thunder, and attacked away. And in the dark space where the dragon's eyes just appeared, seeing Long Yi's terrifying offensive, a huge dragon intertwined with colorful rays of light immediately appeared in front of everyone. This colorful dragon is completely composed of different energies. Although I don't know why it can integrate so much energy, the dragon exudes a very greedy aura towards Long Yi, as if it wants to swallow it clean. Dragon addiction formation, swallow it for me. After a few breaths, Yimo's voice in mid-air suddenly increased by a few decibels, whistling away at the colorful dragon. It's good to come. Seeing this, Long Yi laughed loudly, and the tyrannical dragon tail swung directly at the colorful dragon. Hihi, Yimo, you still underestimate me. If you want to capture Emperor Ben Yang, you will naturally have to pay some blood. Xiao Yan, who had been quiet by the side, smiled at the scene of the colorful dragon and Long Yi constantly fighting. He knew that in order to condense this colorful dragon, the 9 members of the dragon-loving army could spend a lot of soul power. At this moment, they are extremely weak, and it is time to kill. If it weren't for the crisis, I'm afraid I wouldn't let you go in vain. But don't worry, I, Xiao Yang, will ask you to pay back the revenge of the Shenling Emperor Pond. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, a solemn aura slowly permeated his body. The battle chi that just merged the life and death beam was too much. It seems that the strength is not as strong as the 9-star Dodi, so I should use it sparingly. But no matter what, this great gift must be given to you. Soul attack, you roar in a trance. However, in the next moment, Xiao Yang's body suddenly radiated light. A loud and clear cry that directly hit the soul of the human body suddenly sounded. And with the sound of this special cry, the pupils of the 9 members of the Dragon Addiction Legion who had been fighting with Long Yi all the time shrank tightly, and an aura of death permeated out. Go to hell! Xiao Yang's soul attack, but it locked on the 9 members of the Dragon Addiction Legion when they first started to condense, so no matter how they escaped at this time, they would still be hit by the soul attack. This lunatic. At this moment, Yimo's pupils showed a trace of blood. Obviously, Xiao Yang's attack really endangered their lives. Boom boom boom. Before everyone could react, the dazzling sky-shattering light beam beside Xiao Yang, like the dawn that pierced through the darkness, directly pierced through the colorful dragon, and then suddenly hit the 9 members of the Dragon Addiction Legion. This guy, his soul power has soared to this level. I am afraid that some of the immortal warriors have never possessed the soul power of the peak of the Emperor Realm. Long Yi looked at Xiao Yang's turbulent attack, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Boom. The next moment, this space shattered directly, and then with a final bang, it instantly vanished. Fart. With Xiao Yang's move, the Dragon Addiction formation was also completely cracked, and the 9 people who used their soul power to enter the Dragon Addiction formation to try to kill Long Yi all spewed out a mouthful of blood. When the other powerhouses in Shuehe town saw the scene, the whole city was silent. I read that right. Long Yi and Xiao Yang, who were just caught in the mysterious space, were unscathed, but the 9 members of the Dragon Addiction Legion were injured. The stunned powerhouse outside the battlefield said in a stunned manner. Obviously, everyone thought that Xiao Yang and Long Yi would have a catastrophe, but they thought that the catastrophe was actually caused by the dragon-loving legion. Old Zhu, this is... While watching this scene, White Fang asked. This kid Xiao Yang's soul power is so tyrannical. Although I don't know the exact level, I'm afraid it will not be weaker than the 9-star Dodi just by virtue of the strength of his soul power. Although the dragon-loving formation is tyrannical, due to the particularity of the space, the caster can only use their soul power to enter, and the 9 members of the dragon-loving legion probably did not think of this, and were beaten by Xiao Yang. Zhu Jin said at a glance. But even if the 9 of them are injured, the power is still unequal. Xiong Yuan said heavily. In the battle circle, with Xiao Yang's soul attack, the Dragon Addiction formation was directly shattered, and even Yimo and 9 others were injured to varying degrees. I didn't expect this guy to hide so deeply. Just the soul power that just used the soul attack, I'm afraid it has already reached the perfection of the Emperor's realm. The medicine core wiped the blood on the shell's lips, and glared at Xiao Yang with beautiful eyes. Damn. Deputy head, we were actually teased by Xiao Yang, so let me capture him. The mysterious demon beside him spoke slightly, and the hatred for Xiao Yang in his eyes became more and more intense. Okay. Yimo heard the words and immediately agreed. Whoosh. And with Yimo's promise, Yimo Zaidu took the remaining 7 people and attacked Long Yi. Damn, why are these guys so difficult to deal with? Seeing this, Long Yi couldn't help cursing. Although Long Yi is now out of the state of the soul, but there is always no dragon blood injected into the body, the strength is lacking. Otherwise, Long Yi has absolute confidence, relying on the strength of one person to fight the entire dragon-loving army and stand invincible. Don't worry about me, if Xuanmo is alone, I can still deal with it, and he is an old rival. Xiao Yang said with a smile. That's fine. I'll break through as soon as possible and save you. Long Yi said solemnly. 9 of them were injured by soul power. It is impossible to use soul power for a short time, and their strength will also be weakened to a certain extent. Xiao Yang said. As soon as the voice fell, Long Yi's figure flew out and directly blocked the 8 people headed by Yimo, while the remaining 1 passed through Long Yi's blockade and came not far in front of Xiao Yang. It seems that you still have to die by my hands. On Xianmo, the black cloak covered his body tightly, but above the cloak, circles of invisible coercion accompanied the black. The chi was released, and then smiled at Xiao Yang. It's really been a long time. Xiao Yang came face to face with Xianmo at such a close distance, and immediately felt the more terrifying aura on this guy. This aura was really stepping into the ranks of the 9-star Do Emperor, compared to when he was in Xianmo. When Linghuang Pond was no doubt much stronger. Stop talking nonsense, did you die here, or did I do it? Xianmo said to Xiao Yang arrogantly. With Xuanmo's current level of strength at the level of the 9-star Do Emperor, dealing with Xiao Yang in the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor was not as easy as squeezing a fly. Let the horses come over. Xiao Yang frowned when he heard this, and a dazzling khaki holy flame suddenly swept out. 7th layer breaking the sky. Seeing this, Xiao Yang suddenly raised his palm, and then the incomparably huge Ihua Hungu ruler with a full 5 heaven-shattering holy flames roared away at the mysterious demon. Damn the power of the holy flame. When the mysterious demon saw this scene, the black aura on the cloak couldn't help but restrain. Obviously he was extremely afraid of Xiao Yang's khaki holy flame. But just as the black energy was put away, it was replaced by a black and white force of life and death. Black chi is naturally mixed with the evil aura of the Gorfians, so it is afraid of the power of holy flame, but even if the mysterious demon does not use the power of evil, just relying on the power of life and death is enough to suppress Xiao Yang. Because the difference in strength between the two is too obvious. Xiao Yang, die for me. With the emergence of the power of life and death in the mysterious demon, at that time, the mysterious demon's face turned into a death ray and blasted away at Xiao Yang. The mysterious demon's attack pierced through the space, and there was an extremely restless fluctuation in that space. Obviously, the intensity of the mysterious demon's attack was great. 9-star Do D is really tyrannical, but he underestimates me too much. And Xiao Yang saw the mysterious demon attacking him so easily, without any trace of fear or retreat, but a burst of light in his pupils, a strange light, and on the ancient ruler of the eternal fire, a heavy wave is slowly emerging. This is the treasure of our human palace. When Xiao Yang acted like this, the palace master by YA stared at Xiao Yang with shining eyes. The heaven-shifting ruler, that truly possesses the power to move the sky. This guy really has some confidence. Long Yi watched Xiao Yang deal with the mysterious demon, and he was relieved, because he knew that although his current strength was in the late stage of 1-star fighting immortals, he wanted to deal with a half-immortal and 7 9-star Do D is more or less struggling. Little devil, today, I'll let you know in the face of absolute strength, everything will become insignificant. Shen hand. Go to hell. Xianmo came to Xiao Yang in just a few short breaths, dozens of meters, and then an evil smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. The black and of life and death gathered in his palm, forming the black and white palms of hundreds of meters in size, suddenly slapped them in the direction of Xiao Yang. Crash. Shen Tian's hand just poured out, and suddenly the entire space was filled with an extremely tyrannical pressure, making Xiao Yang unable to move. It's good to come. And Xiao Yang was thinking about moving the sky ruler from the beginning. Watching the Shentian hand that was about to attack him, he laughed loudly, and then the ancient ruler of the eternal fire glowed on the palm of his hand. Mysterious and strange power, and when Shentian's hand, which seemed to be turbulent, hit Xiao Yang's huge light, it disappeared abruptly, as if it was swallowed up by Xiao Yang. Damn, how is it possible? And Xuanmo was a little surprised when he saw his attack disappear instantly, because the Shentian hand just now was enough to kill Xiao Yang with one blow, but now, give it back to you. Just when the mysterious demon was surprised, a certain space in front of the two suddenly wriggled, and then inside, there was a huge force containing the power of black and white life and death and the power of khaki holy flame. The palm appears in degrees. Not good. Seeing this, Xuanmo felt a sense of danger. And because the distance between them is extremely close, the mysterious demon has not had time to defend, and was directly hit by its attack. Boom boom boom. A loud noise came directly from the mid-air where the mysterious demon was standing, and the terrifying heat wave continued to sweep away. Damn, this Xiao Yang is actually so perverted. The strength of the 7-star Do D in the middle stage can actually be indistinguishable from the mysterious demon. Some figures who were watching the excitement couldn't help but say, "Want to know who the mysterious demon is?" Today, one of the dragon-loving legions, strong enough to reach the 9-star Do D, is undoubtedly one heaven and one underground compared to Xiao Yang. Hey, it's not over yet. Just now, Xuanmo just took it lightly. If he uses all his strength, I am afraid that even if Xiao Yang has 3 heads and 6 arms, I am afraid that he will not be able to escape. Some discerning people also said, after all, the difference between the two is too great. Qin Tian, old dog, your Shenling royal family is nothing more than that. Xiao Yi, who had been entangled with Qin Tian, couldn't help laughing when she saw Xiao Yang temporarily gaining the upper hand. Humph. Fire elf, you'd better take care of you first. If I let this king catch you, I will devour you, Qin Tian said with a cold snort. Then let's see if you have this ability. Xiao Yi heard the words, and the splendid Emperor Flames emerged, and the Emperor Flame sword in his hand became more and more dazzling with the increase of the splendid Emperor Flames on his body. Bang bang bang. As soon as the two finished speaking, a monstrous and astonishing attack broke out. Obviously, the two were almost evenly matched, and it would be difficult to tell the winner in a short period of time. Damn. What the is this mysterious demon doing? Is it so difficult to capture a guy in the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor? Seeing this, Yimo couldn't help but say, Deputy Head, this Xiao Yang is not as simple as we thought. He is not only powerful in soul power, but also possesses holy flame, and he also mastered Fenxiang Pavilion's sky-moving ruler fighting skills. The fluctuation just now should be the power of moving the sky ruler. And Yao Xin's soul perception is strong, he said. You guys should take care of yourselves first. Seeing this, Long Yi didn't give the 8 people any chance to breathe, and once again the huge dragon's tail blasted away at the crowd. After Long Yi turned into a silver dragon, he was surrounded by dazzling thunder, and every time he attacked, there would be thunder in the sky, which made Yi Mo and the others extremely uncomfortable. Going downhill, after all, Yi Mo and the others are not vegetarians. I am afraid that Long Yi will be defeated under the siege of the 8 of them in the near future. At that time, I am afraid it will be a dead end in the true sense. Little bastard. As Xiao Yang moved the sky ruler, he returned the mysterious demon's attack to him without a trace, and even added the power of his own holy flame, which immediately injured the mysterious demon. 9-star Do D is really not that easy to kill. Seeing this, Xiao Yang's cloak of the mysterious demon had already disappeared, and then he shook his head slightly. After the black cloak on Shenmo's body disappeared, dark skin was revealed, but on the arm, drops of dark red blood slowly flowed down. This appearance was obviously injured by Xiao Yang's Shentian hand, which contained the power of life and death and the power of holy flame. Drops of dark red blood flowed down, and then Shenmo was not too surprised, and even his pupils glowed with a chilling meaning. I didn't expect that I would be injured by a hairy boy. Accept death's embrace. The next moment, Shenmo directly stopped talking nonsense with Xiao Yang, and the dark red blood dripping from his arm was licked by the corner of his mouth. The clouds all exuded an extremely fluctuation. It seems that this guy is going to be serious. Seeing this, Xiao Yang nodded slightly. Obviously the previous small fights were insignificant in front of this blow. No way. Seeing this, Mu Yingying, who had been quietly watching the battle, saw a trace of worry in her beautiful eyes, and even the azure blue Saint Flame crystal in her body moved slightly. She was more or less a little bit towards Xiao Yang. Qing Su will definitely not stand idly by. However, even Zhu Jin and the others on the side didn't notice that Mu Yingying's black and beautiful hair was slowly turning into azure blue. The strength also skyrocketed in an instant. Suffer to death, ripple of blood, and devouring, and after a few minutes, the Gorfian's eyes burst out with an evil aura that shook people's hearts, and then a dark red light appeared all over the body, and countless tiny ants swarmed out of its body at that time, shot at Xiao Yang frantically. These dark red ants are extremely small, only as thick as a finger, but the strange thing is that the dark red aura on their bodies seems to be irresistible as if they devoured everything. It's good to come. One finger in the sky, call the sky. And Xiao Yang didn't take a step back after feeling the dense dark red ants, because he knew that if he lost, Long Yi and Xiao Yi would also lose instantly. As Xiao Yang's voice fell, there was a burst of madness in his pupils, and the finger pointed at the position of the mysterious demon, and with a slight tap, a dazzling white light beam suddenly shot towards him. The white beam came to the mysterious demon in an instant, collided with countless dark red ants, and the two couldn't stand still. However, this stalemate did not last long, and the white light beams emitted by Xiao Yang instantly turned into powder under the swallowing of countless dark red ants. Now, how do you deal with it? Seeing Xiao Yang's attack being defeated, Xianmo also laughed frantically, as if he could completely kill him in the next moment. 2 fingers in the sky, break the sky. And watching Xiao Yang, who was falling at an extremely fast speed, the mysterious demon swept him frantically and seemed to kill him. However, Xianmo obviously underestimated Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang concentrated all of his strength on one finger, and then pointed at the Xianmo who was close at hand. And with such a close distance, Xianmo was also caught off guard. How could he have thought that Xiao Yang would have such a hand? Under the attack of Xiao Yantian's 2 fingers, Xuanmo's left hand fell off and turned into powder. Xianmo forcibly endured the pain, and then the dark red ants around him suddenly condensed, biting away at Xiao Yang. And Xiao Yang just used the of the sky, and he has completely used up the little power left in his body, and now he can only helplessly show a wry smile. Xiao Yang. Big brother. Senior brother. Under Xiao Yang's desperate situation, Xiao Yi, Long Yi, and everyone in the Funxiang pavilion in the distance were all heartbroken. Die! And Xuanmo also laughed when he saw Xiao Yang's appearance. However, the dark red ants around him hadn't devoured Xiao Yang, when the mysterious demon felt a bone-chilling cold emerge. Papa! Not knowing what kind of power, he slapped the mysterious demon abruptly, and then the original majestic appearance of the mysterious demon suddenly flew out hundreds of meters away, quite embarrassed. When Xuanmo flew out backwards, his pupils shrank tightly because he only saw a woman with azure blue hair appearing in front of Xiao Yang. He couldn't help but lose his voice. Mu Yingying? Mu Yingying. The mysterious demon was shot hundreds of meters away by this sudden mysterious powerhouse, and even the countless dark red ants around him disappeared without a trace under the cold, piercing power of the mysterious man. After Xiao Yang finished using the of the sky, his body energy was nearly withered. After all, it was almost impossible to resist the strong 9-star Do Emperor in the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, so the consumption of Do Qi was extremely huge. After using the power, the body descended uncontrollably and rapidly. Xiao Yang's body suddenly burst out with a trace of black energy. This power belonged to the soul-devouring talisman, but when looking at the blue sky that was swept towards Xiao Yang in the sky, the power of the Soul Eater talisman is also directly withdrawn. I thought I was going to take a shot. How do I know that this guy's little lover is stronger than the other? Soul Eater felt the blue figure swept by Xiao Yang, and couldn't help but said, because the Bite Soul talisman knows that this girl's current strength is a real strong immortal fighting. Xiao Yang's body was taken over by Mu Yingying, who came over without a trace of his body falling. Huh! Xiao Yang opened his pupils with some difficulty, but what caught his eyes was Mu Yingying, who was wrapped in azure flames and looked at him coldly. If Xiao Yang hadn't clearly remembered Mu Yingying's face, he would have been frightened. Broken. At this time, Mu Yingying, who was hugging her, was just 2 people before. If the Mu Yingying in the past was a slender lady, then now the azure Mu Yingying is an invincible queen in the ice and snow, noble and arrogant. Humph. A big man, he actually asked her to save you. However, the mere ability of the 7-star Do Emperor in the middle stage dares to challenge the strong 9-star Do Emperor. I like it. And the azure Mu Yingying squinted at Xiao Yang in her arms and finished softly. Since this guy has revenge against you, then I will avenge you. The next moment, the blue Mu Yingying's complexion was still extremely dull. After speaking, a trace of blue flames wrapped Xiao Yang, and then the voice faded away. Go directly to the mysterious demon. Damn it. When Xuanmo saw this scene, he couldn't help roaring. The ghost knows what this Mu Yingying has done, and her strength has soared from the early stage of the 7-star Do Emperor to the middle stage of the 1-star Do Xian. What's going on here? When several high-level officials of Funxiang Pavilion saw this, they couldn't help but say, the power of holy flames all have guardians. Although they are converted human beings, the spirit of holy flames, the so-called guardians, should still exist in her body. You didn't realize that since Mu Yingying's strength has skyrocketed, she has used azure blue flames. The mysterious power of that flame is undoubtedly the power of holy flame, and this girl's character and even aura have changed tremendously. Changes. Zhu Jin shook his head and said, It seems now that Xiao Yang really has a chance to leave here. After White Fang finished speaking, his hanging heart slowly let go. Damn! Another immortal fighter. At this time, Yi Mo, who was surrounded by Long Yi, couldn't help but say, "This guy should be the holy flame," with Yang Kai Yarou Shin also said with an extremely ugly face. What they wanted to capture was just one Xiao Yang, but they didn't expect to involve a Do Emperor Peak and two Do Immortal powerhouses. With such a huge formation, I'm afraid they won't be able to capture Xiao Yang today. Deputy Head, what should I do now? Yarou Shin said while looking at the mysterious demon who was escaping everywhere, chased by Mu Yingying. Do it. That fire elf and this silver dragon won't last long. At all cost. After Yi Mo finished speaking, the last round of terrifying offensive came out. Friends from afar, you have to hurry up, the fire elves and I can't last long. Long Yi looked into the distance and said, and then the huge dragon scales resisted. However, Long Yi's situation was not easy either. The silver dragon scales on his body were burned and damaged to varying degrees. Obviously, the strength of Yi Mo's 8 people still caused a lot of pressure on him. Another immortal fighter? Holy flame! Fire elf, Yuan Yuan won't waste time with you, let's end the sanctions. And after seeing Mu Yingying's real strength, Qin Tian stopped hiding and launched a frantic attack on Xiao Yi. Damn! If this goes on like this, within 3 minutes, I will definitely lose. And Xiao Yi also gritted her teeth and supported her hard. I heard that you almost let her fall. Azure Mu Yingying swept her figure and came to Xuanmo's side. At that time, traces of ice flowers with azure flames kept coming out around Xuanmo, making the evil aura on Xuanmo unable to help weaken. So what? The mysterious demon also roared directly. Although this Mu Yingying didn't know why his strength had skyrocketed, it was probably too early to kill him. I was sleeping before, and I didn't know many things. But now I know, so I can only ask you to die. Upon seeing this, the blue-colored Mu Yingying didn't have any apology, her beautiful eyes moved slightly, and a sinister smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. Not good. At the same time, the temperature in this world suddenly dropped a lot, and blue ice flowers fell from the sky. Mysterious demon's palm just touched the blue ice flower, and suddenly a cold force that was about to freeze blood appeared all over the body. Run! Xianmo's first thought came directly, and then he didn't dare to stay too long, his speed skyrocketed, and he burst into the distance. Since you have done something wrong, you should pay it back with your life. Don't you humans say that? Azure Mu Yingying showed a rather innocent expression, and then bit her jade finger slightly at the corner of her mouth. Crash! Before Xuanmo could run 100 meters, he was madly gathered by the blue ice flowers and turned into a solid ice sculpture. After doing all this, Azure Mu Yingying, with the help of Binghua, came directly to Xuanmo's side, raised her finger slightly, and pointed at it. Bang bang bang! And with the Azure Mu Yingying's actions, the mysterious demon who had been invincible before was shattered. The entire ice sculpture turned into a sky full of tinder and drifted away, without a trace of blood, let alone any soul, and completely disappeared in this world. Bastard! Qin Tian and Yi Mo scolded secretly after Mu Yingying completely killed the mysterious demon. What? What a handsome man, but I don't know why she likes you. You have familiar fluctuations in your body, it should be holy flame. If it wasn't for your little lover who refused, I'm afraid that you are already in my stomach now. The blue Mu Yingying wiped out the mysterious demon as if it had not happened at all, and came to Xiao Yang's side slightly teasing. Let her out. Xiao Yang had just regained some strength. Seeing the azure blue Mu Yingying act like this, he couldn't help but said in a deep voice, and even the power of the khaki holy flame in his body was mobilized. If she hadn't begged me, I wouldn't have come out to save you. Apparently sensing Xiao Yang's sudden mobilization of energy, Azure Mu Yingying smiled at him. You! And Xiao Yang was about to say something just now, but he saw in the sky, Xiao Yi and Long Yi's 2 battles, both of them were defeated one after another. Now, do you still want her to come out and die? Azure Mu Yingying also noticed the defeat of Xiao Yi and Long Yi, and immediately showed a playful smile to Xiao Yang. This video will end here.